We have some special guests tonight. Let's give a big round of applause for our future Eagles at Fairmont football team. 7th and 8th graders, stand up. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Donna Larson Field for tonight's matchup between the Capital Eagles and the Centennial Patriots. I'm Blas, Telleria, and I'm with my partner Jason Gordon tonight to bring you this 5A matchup. The Eagles started the season all over the board with wins over Timberline and Meridian, but losses to Rocky Mountain and Mountain View. Sitting at 2-2, more than one rival across the conference was hoping that this was the beginning of a demise for Capital. But as Coach Simmons stated, talk of a demise was a little premature. Since then, the Eagles have soared back into contention by crushing their crosstown rivals, the Boraloins, 39-7, and then going on to the road and getting a 2-touchdown win over the Skyview Hawks. So now, Capital is sitting at 4-2 with the Centennial Patriots in front of them. So Jason, Capital is rolling now. What do you think it was that settled the Eagles in and got them headed in the right direction?
Glad to be back here again, Blas. It's a good question. I think the obvious answer is that, we started out pretty early in the season against one of the, if not two of the top teams in the league, Mountain View and Rocky. But really, I think specifically, we're a pretty young team, and that game speed's a lot different. The kids kind of start to learn a lot, especially after the first game. You really see the most improvement after that. But once they start to believe in the scheme and start to learn the little intricacies with that, you get better and better. Offensively, man, they had a lot of turnovers. But they've improved drastically. I've got to give a shout out to Hibbs. I haven't seen a deep ball thrown like that in the last few games so accurately. Amazing stats with that. So I think things are starting to just click for Capital right now.
Well, when you have a young team, a team like Rocky Mountain and a team like Mountain View, that's not really the team you want to cut your teeth with. But then there is the Centennial. Centennial started the season at 2-1, but have fallen on tough times, dropping their last 3 games, getting outscored 54-123. To break that streak, the Patriots have a tough task in front of them as they take on a hot Capital Eagle team. Centennial is led by Coach David Cook, and the Patriot offense is led by his play-calling son, Dane Cook, a 2017 honorable mention quarterback. So far this season, Dane has been a bright spot for the Patriots, throwing for over 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. And when Cook drops back, there is no doubt who he's looking for, and that is Caden Clark. Clark leads the conference in both total receptions and receiving yards and has caught over a half of Cook's touchdown passes. So again, Jason, it looks like we have a lot of passing ahead of us again because this is the 3rd straight game against a team who wants to throw. What is Capital's game plan going to do to slow down this Patriot air attack?
Well, I feel pretty lucky here. I actually got my eyes on film to watch Centennial a little bit. And you're right. I mean, all I saw was 2x2 trips, something for people to be watching today, something called RPOs, run-pass options. The quarterback, he's going to be walking up to the line of scrimmage, maybe getting a read from the defense, and then deciding if he's going to be throwing the ball or passing the ball. So the linemen are going to be pretty soft, but he's going to have options, and we've got to be pretty balanced to be able to deal with those situations. Now, defensively, they're going to throw the ball. We want to take away those strengths. And, the last game we called against Flora, they had a pretty big passing attack. We were prepared for that. We're going to have a 2-high safety look. I guarantee we're going to be in that situation and have those guys beat. Probably a 4-1. I hope that middle backer is going to be able to hold his own in there. Pressure is the next thing I had written down because, our boy Joey Q, and then Black Hat.
Joey Kinnaqua.
Yeah.
We're calling him Joey Q, though.
We're going with Johnny Q again with this. Those guys, and give credit, they're a great D-line, all of them. And they're going to be bringing pressure. The things that I saw on film is because he's going to be rushed. What you do is you throw a lot of screens usually to try and deal with that kind of pressure. So be looking for that screen pass, and are we going to be able to get to that? And on top of that, that we can stop the run with only that middle backer and a 2-high safety. So we're going to be sticking with what we've been doing. It's been working the last couple games.
Well, the air game might be the lone bright spot for Centennial's offense because according to the stats that I'm looking at, the Patriots don't have a ground game at all, averaging a mere 75 yards a game, 2nd worst in the conference. And it's not going to get any easier tonight to get anything established because it is Capital's defense that has led the Eagles back to their winning ways. Capitals defensive coordinator Matt Jacobson has released the Hounds these last few games and has really put the pressure on opposing teams. Led by Joey Q, Rudy Dye, and Jake Walk, all three are 1, 2, and 3 in the conference in sacks. So Patriot QB Dane Cook had better keep his head on a swivel and get rid of the ball quickly. Speaking of quarterbacks, Capitals quarterback Ryan Hibbs that you mentioned earlier, he has caught fire the last 2 games, averaging over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns a game in that span, and has rushed for quite a few more yards as well. So I imagine Capital will continue to play the hot hand tonight and will also take to the air again, looking to get the ball into tight end Matt Rule and wide receivers Alec Binder and Jonah Blackman. One of the things that makes this game particularly interesting to me is that there is only a 3-mile difference that separates these two schools, and Centennial's boundaries are literally across the street from Capital. So neighborhood bragging rights are on the line indeed. It looks like they've tossed the coin. I did not see who's receiving. It looks like Centennial will be kicking off to Capital. But here we go. Centennial's taking the field. You know, Centennial in the late 80s was a new school when I was playing, and I remember some of the great players that were out there. Mark Ockenpaw. He was the quarterback when Centennial won their first state title in 1988. Brett Barkley, who I think was the player of the year in 89 or 90. And studs like defensive end John LaJeunesse and a fellow legendary tight end, Jeff Pankratz in the 90s. We both, you know.
What'd you play again?
I was a tight end.
Oh.
What did you play?
I was a tight end.
We gotta love tight ends. The best athlete on the field, no doubt. But then there was guys like Matt Swanson, who QB'd the Centennial to their 1996 state title and went on to the University of Wyoming. And then, of course, there's obviously Brock Forsey, who's probably the most famous football player to come out of Centennial and on to Boise State. With Boise State, Forsey became only the 3rd player ever to record more than 30 touchdowns, 6 receiving and 26 rushing. That puts him in elite air with joining Troy Edwards from Louisiana Tech and Barry Sanders. Well, the kickoff, Capital takes it at the 1. No, they say he was in the end zone. So Capital's going to take over early at about the 25, it looks like. Well, what do you think? What's your vibe tonight?
Well, I think Capital, like always, is going to come out hot and fast, pedal to the metal. Kind of coverages that I've seen out of Centennial here, I'm going to be watching the corners in particular and how many safeties they got deep. They're going to go between cover 4, cover 1, and they're going to be rolling down. I can see him now. I was watching this on film. Number 7, he's going to be that boundary safety. See if he comes down. See, he's coming down to the line of scrimmage now to become number 7 in the box. We tried to do a little fly sweep there, and I think that's why he's rolling down to try to take care of stuff like that.
Well, Hibbs takes the ball and gets about 5 yards. He was pretty effective in the last 2 games versus Skyview and Bora with that, so we'll see if that sucks the linebackers in a little bit and gives a little room to attack the flats. Hibbs back in the shotgun, and it's a handoff. That looks like number 24, Jones.
Yeah, that was a quick little handoff to the boundary there. Again, I'm watching this. It looks like they're playing a soft cover 3 deep coverage. Corner's eyes are looking inside. They're playing zone. Offensive coordinator here, Todd Simmons, he's going to be trying to feel this out a little bit. They got a lot of guys in the box right now. Even that free safety's up tight.
There we go. Hibbs with the option. He keeps it. And another gain of 5.
Hibbs, the ball carrier.
You know, 5 yards of play. I think Coach Simmons will take that. That'll add up quickly, put some points on the board.
A little injured player here trying to limp off. They're probably going to stop the clock, make sure he can get off and get a substitution in. So 2nd and 4, I thought we had a couple run plays. I didn't think that was a first down. Are we right on the markers here?
Well, it is a new chain game. It is a new chain game tonight.
Scoreboard says 2nd and 4 here.
Here we go. Hibbs drops back, looks out to the sideline. He's got a man out to the 50-yard line. First completion of the night.
Penalty on the play.
Oh, but there is a flag.
He was brought down by Charles Finnegan.
Looks like that one is going to come back. Centennial accepted that play. So Capital get the ball back. We're marching it back. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and Haven't seen where they're going to put the ball down just yet. Looks like it's at the 21-22.
Well, it should be 14 at least, but.
So, here we go, 2nd and 18. We'll see what Coach Simmons dials up for this.
So a little bit longer distance here. You see they got 2 high safety. They're going to be playing soft. See the far corner, he's up press here. He probably manned, and we're playing zone down here to the trip side.
Pass incomplete there. A little bit of pressure, but not enough.
Yeah, I like this scenario. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about this from an offense corner position. They just went trips down low. We got Blackham up top. He's a heck of a receiver. He does a great job running a deep ball. I can see us trying to isolate that, throw that ball up. But we're back in trips. 2 high safety. They're giving the same look again. Let's see if they go at Blackham up top.
Here we go. Hibbs back in the shotgun. Looks left, goes right. And he's got a man. That's a nice call. You called the ball right there.
I think I got lucky on that. I just saw that right away. I don't think they can put that corner up there and press like that all game. They're going to have to give him some help.
Well, the penalty put Capital in some trouble, but Hibbs airs it out and gets a first down, and Capital's working again. Here we go. Hibbs handing off up the middle. It was about a gain of 3.
That's our boy Jones again. He runs hard. We're going to kind of keep running that zone read, see what they give us here, leaving a lineman there. And, you know, honestly, I'm sure Centennial schemed making sure that they get someone assigned to Hibbs. He has put up some really good yards running the ball for us.
He's in the top 20 in rushing, but in the entire conference between running backs and quarter. There he goes, right up the middle. He's adding to those yards. I don't know if he can get there close. It looks like he got brought down by number 19 down at the 3-yard line.
It was a matter of time. They ran the fly sweep just a couple plays into the game, and this time, again, they faked that, and Hibbs goes right up the middle.
Well, Hibbs was looking left, looking right. He needed to just go straight, quit worrying about a guy running down.
Untouched.
Untouched. That was Jones.
Yep. Hey, that's a great opening drive by Capital. You come out fast like that, that's exactly what you want. Get your defense out there having some fun.
So Capital overcomes a little adversity with a quick penalty, with a couple deep balls, a couple big runs, and they are on the board with 9:55 in the game, in the first quarter, 9:55 in the first quarter. It is Capital with the kick. 7-0.
And the kick is good. Score Capital 7, Centennial.
Well, great start for the Capital Eagles, and now it's time for Coach Cook and his QB son to come out for the offense of Centennial to see what they can do. Where on the other side of the ball, Coach Jacobson gearing up. The last time we broadcast a game, it was pretty easy to find one guy, Joey Q. He was the only black hat out there. But it looks like Capital has added a couple more players to that. So here we go.
Yeah, Rudy Dye and Jackson Reed. Number 9 again. It's Pruitt, I believe. I'm trying to look it up right now. Gavin Piva. Sorry about that, Gavin. That's great. After a couple wins, and we only give out black hats after wins like this, we're starting to add to that defense and give them a little bit of an identity out there.
So Centennial waiting to receive the ball. The Capital Eagles waiting to kick the ball. Coach Tinker has him dialed up.
Chase Miller, kickoff for Capital.
Chase Miller for Capital. Getting the ball from the referee.
Number 7, Charlie Ferremo. Number 2, Gavin.
You see people bouncing around, trying to stay limber. It's a beautiful fall night. The weather, cold, crisp. So you see everybody bouncing around. Great night for football.
It's fall. It's October.
It is October. October baseball, too. The Yankees and the Red Sox are playing tonight as well.
Yeah, it's heating up. But here we are, Friday night.
Chase Miller with the kick. Centennial's going to get it at about the 9. He bobbles it, and he gets it back and scrambles for about an extra 10 yards. So number 26 for Centennial, Charles Finnegan. He bobbled it, held on to it, And now Centennial will take over at the 25-yard line, 21-yard line, excuse me.
Centennial takes over 1st and 10 on their own 21-yard line.
Okay, just like we were talking in pregame here, Capital's defense in a too high look. They got trips up there. We'll see, they're going to play some type of zone over there. Now we're zone across the board, it looks like. Get on the ball, just in case.
Just in case. Cook pass out to the flats and incomplete. He had a guy wide open there, but I think he was thinking about what to do once he caught the ball, and he ends up dropping it. So 2nd down and 10 for the Patriots. Cook talking to everybody, getting them lined out. Play calls in. Capital lines up. Joey Q on the far side. And it's a handoff up the middle. So with 2nd and 10, Centennial decides to run the ball. At the same time, I'm not sure that's something that we're going to see a lot of. As I mentioned earlier, Centennial only averages 75 yards a game, 2nd worst in the conference. So I imagine we expect, with 3rd and long, you expect Cook to put it in the air.
Okay, 2-by-2 look here. We're definitely playing cover 4, and they found a little soft zone there behind the corner.
And that's Caden Clark. He's the conference's leading receiver in receptions, leading receiver in yards. I think we better find him on every play if he's leading the conference in receptions. Now, he did get popped right there, so Capital maybe sending a message. We're going to let you catch a couple, but we're going to pop you to let you know we're here and then take it away for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I'm going to get my eyes on him a little bit. He had to be the number 2 in there, running a little flag or a corner route, and if we're playing cover 4, that's the corner's job to be right there.
So Centennial trying to establish the ground game again for another 2 yards. That's 2 rushes for 4 yards, 2 yards a carry.
Yeah, I mean, that's impressive. We're sitting here in a 4-1. We only got 1 middle backer. That's just kind of showing you what kind of D-line we got when they're just going to try and run a little zone read like that.
Well, when we talk to Black Hats, it's the entire Capital D-line in Black Hats there. So, obviously, they've earned it. And the Centennial goes to the ground game again and gets another 2 yards. You know, Capital, they were picking up 5 yards a game. Centennial picking up 2. I'm going to imagine that Centennial's just trying to suck everybody in, or is it Capital daring them to run up the middle with that one linebacker?
You know, I think that was a run-pass option. Those receivers came off hard. I think he just made that decision to give the ball. He's got options, and they're going to run and maybe pass it. You got to be disciplined.
Well, here it is, 3rd and 5 for Centennial. Capital looking for a big stop. Cook drops back, quick hit, out to number 14 for Centennial. That's Luke Shabbat.
That Centennial's having a little bit of success here, chipping away. You know, they're being careful to keep us balanced and check the run, but at the same time, they're making a couple little quick hits. We're going to have to make some adjustments here with the corners and make sure they get settled in, get a feel for how to play this zone on these guys.
Well, Centennial's been pretty poised so far. They've had 2 third-down opportunities, and they converted on both of them. And Centennial goes back to the ground game, and again, another 2 yards.
That looked like a counter. They pulled the lineman on that one.
2nd down and 8 for the Patriots.
All right, we just got to get settled in here as defense. The receivers are doing a good job. They have pretty tight splits. That makes it difficult. You end up kind of playing a little softer and let those guys make their moves inside or out.
Cook in the shotgun. Centennial at the 40-yard line.
Motion to trips here. Yeah, okay.
And there we go. They toss it out to the flat. Capital converges quickly, and again, that's Caden Clark. 2nd reception of the night for Caden Clark.
Yeah, I like this call. I could tell that the corner made an adjustment there. He's looking inside. He saw the motion to trips, and he just kind of sat. You call it squat, whatever you want to call it. It's more of like a cover 2 where he just kind of plays that flat. So they're definitely making an adjustment here for the trips, and it's interesting to see him pressed up here to see if he actually.
Oh, there we go, up and over the top, and close off the fingertips of Cooper Lowry. He had a little room up the sideline, but incomplete, just off his hands.
And 22 he was in good position, but both the corners were up in a press situation right there. They recognized that. Cook threw a really good ball right where it needed to be. Unfortunately, our receiver didn't make that catch, but definitely good for Capital here.
That was Hayden Picard in coverage right there.
Fourth down and 4.
So Centennial's 2 for 2 in these tight situations. 4th and long.
See if they pooch it here or not, or I think they're going to go for it.
It does indeed. A little pressure. Oh, scrambling around.
Not good. Yep.
Not good.
All right, good job, D.
There was 3 or 4 black hats back there, and you got to give Cook credit. He was scrambling around, but everywhere he turned, there was another black hat. Again, that D line for Capital is causing all sorts of early pressure on that series. But Centennial turns it over on downs, and the Capital Eagles will take over at the 44-yard line. Now, the last time we called the game, it was in these scenarios right now where Coach Simmons came out with a quick hit and went big and went for the points early. Let's see what he does. Nope. Quick handoff. That's back to Jonesy, I believe. Yep, Jake Jones, number 24. So, a loss of 2 on that for Capital.
Yeah, my mindset's still on the defense here. I'm just trying to get eyes. Coach Jacobson's got the D huddled up down there on the bench and trying to get these guys settled in. I was also looking at Coach Banks there. I know he went and grabbed a couple of his guys, talked to them individually. So, again, I think they need to just settle in, get a feel for what Centennial's receivers are doing, and maybe just kind of tighten it down a little bit. Hopefully the offense is going to put up some more points, and we can kind of sit back and let them pick out underneath, and, we're going to be comfortable the rest of the game.
Well, Hibbs with a quick hard count. Centennial ends up jumping off sides. So a 2nd and 12 now turns into a 2nd and 6. The Capital Eagles looking to the sideline for a play call. The line has it. Centennial lining up. Hibbs in shotgun, drops back. A quick hit. That's Gavin Piva. Going to be short of the first down, I think, and nope, the white hat liked it. So he's going to go ahead and wave the crowd, or wave the chains on to a first down. So Capital threatening again on Centennial's half of the field. Centennial also looking to their sidelines to figure out what defensive formation they want to be in. Capital making some substitutions.
Yeah, Capital is forcing, they got trips, and they're forcing Blackman down here at the bottom. Number 7, he's rolling down with the motion.
Oh. Hibbs got rid of that one. That one, just like you mentioned earlier, if that one wouldn't have got reeled in by the running back there, that might have been a live ball. That one
definitely
was close.
I think so.
So the option picks up 2 yards for Capital.
The Eagles on the Patriots 44.
It's a quick hit back out. That's Jonah Blackham. Jonah Blackham is Capital's leading receiver. The last couple games have really propelled him up the conference rankings as far as receiver yards. So I imagine number 17 is probably on the scouting report for the Centennial Patriots. You might want to find him because he has really put up some serious yards these last few games. There we go, Jonesy up the middle, and it's going to be close again. My initial mark looks short. So we're looking at 4th and 1 for the Capital Eagles. No doubt in my mind that they're going for it.
Yeah, they're going for it here. Here's that situation. Maybe not Jonesy, nothing against him, that he's going to be the guy to get that 1 yard. Maybe a little fly sweep where Hibbs is going to keep it. Otherwise, I said this last time, I hope it's not a big tendency that this is QB lead. They're going to put this ball in Hibbs' hand and make him make this first down.
So here we go, Capital making a few adjustments. Hibbs with the ball.
And they give it to
and
Jones.
Give it to Jones.
Hey, look at that, weak side.
It just opened up for him. That weak side opened right up, and Jones bounces it out to the outside with a gain of about 6 yards. And it's a first down for the Capital Eagles, and they'll take the ball at the 33, still marching. 4:03 left in the first quarter, 7-0 Capital. Capital threatening again. Centennial, they need to bend but not break right here. Early in the game, too early to be down 14-zip. Capital looking to establish their own run game. Jones, he's a little bitty guy back there behind that big line. He's tough to bring down, so he's picking up chunks of change.
Yeah, great tight end for Capital here. One of the best, I think, in the Valley, Matt Rule. He's getting down, getting involved here in this run game.
And then getting involved in the passing game. And shedding blockers, getting the first down.
That was a great run by Rule.
With a stiff arm and some hard-fought yardage there. But then again, like I mentioned earlier, everybody loves the tight end. They're a fan favorite. It goes tight ends, quarterbacks, wide receivers,
There was a time where they weren't utilized where they could have been. I'm happy to see a couple of these teams, get them in there and involved in the game plan.
So here we go. Capital. Here we go with the option. Hibbs decides to keep. That might have been a time for a pitch. That one does not go in very far. Maybe a gain of 1 for the Capital Eagles there.
I like that play. Speed option. We had some room there. Official timeout. Maybe a player substitution there. I don't know if it's equipment. Things will get rolling here right away. So right at 3 minutes left in the first quarter. 2nd down and 9. Capital has an opportunity here to punch it in again.
Here we go. Hibbs in the shotgun. Into motion. And it's another handoff around to the outside. With a nifty move to pick up about another 6 yards. That's Michael Hawley with the run on that one.
Looks like we'll be about a long yard short here. Bringing up 3rd down.
Maybe even 2 on this one. Just by our angle, it was kind of tough to tell right there. But 3rd and 2. Capital drops back. Hibbs looking. Decides to run. And dives for the first down.
I think he got it.
That was a pretty heady play. There was nobody out. Good coverage by the Centennial Patriots.
Yeah.
So, Hibbs keeps it, gets a first down, and that puts Capital with the ball on the 12-yard line. So, Capital can still pick up another first down, but Capital is absolutely threatening again, and this would not be the start that Coach Cook and Centennial wanted. But what a great start for Capital, and there's Hibbs. He got ran down the first time, but not this time.
Don't be hurt. Yeah, he kind of got tackled deep in the end zone right there. I hope he didn't get his ankle twisted. Coming up hobbling just a little bit. I hope he runs back and...
Well, he'll walk it off, it looks like.
He tackled him kind of late there in the end zone around the ankles. I don't know if you guys saw that last play. I just noticed Centennial went 0 on that. They just manned up, kind of brought the house a little bit, and sometimes when you do that and cut them right up the middle. Oh, I didn't even see the penalty.
Yeah, I didn't see the penalty either.
Holding?
I'm looking at the scoreboard, and they put the points on the board.
Man, that was a pretty quick hit play. I'm surprised they called that so fast. Huh.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Simmis, he is marching out there right now, and he wants an explanation. He is not happy about it. He is out at center field, and he is demanding an explanation.
Part of this might be what I was saying earlier about him getting tackled kind of deep in the end zone. I don't think he's happy. He wants to protect his quarterback. All I'm seeing is that referee just keep backpedaling though.
Yeah, he is definitely backpedaling, looking at his notes.
Yeah, nobody's called a timeout yet until just now.
So I did not see the penalty, but the points come off the board. What a break. What a break for the Centennial Patriots. So the ball gets backed up to the 25-yard line. Coach Simmis is absolutely letting the offense know what they're going to do on this one. Capital breaks the huddle, with a little bit of authority there and probably a little bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Well, the one positive here that we have after that is it's still first down. We got a little bit more room down there. Maybe expect them to be a little more aggressive on the pass play here.
Now back judge, he took a very deep position to stay away. So Capital goes back to Jonesy. It doesn't go very far on that one. So a 1st and 22 gets stuffed at the line. It looks like it'll be 2nd and 22 from the Centennial 25-yard line.
Now just for people watching the game, you know, I'm already seeing a difference in Centennial's defense. They're fired up. It's a little bit of a momentum shift there. It's a big difference between. Oh my! Great play again by Blackham. They isolated him, threw the ball up.
And Hibbs with
play.
A nice fade to Blackham in the corner, and that was an easy toss and catch. You know, you mentioned it earlier. If there's something that Hibbs does very well, he throws a very nice long ball. And he just literally tossed that one up nice and soft. And Blackham even backpedaled a little bit to catch that ball. So the points are on the board again, and this time they stay on the board. And Capital, with 1:18 left in the first quarter, takes a 14-0 lead over Centennial.
Yeah, momentum shift there for sure. I mean, we had a big penalty. Centennial's fired up, and then we turn around and make a big play like that. That's amazing. Blackham's 6'4" here on the roster. You know, maybe they embellished a little bit, but he can get up and high point that ball, and that's just kind of when you're coaching corners, you're going to try and make that jump ball. You got to do the same thing, and I just think he got turned around a little bit. Blackham made a better adjustment. Easy touchdown play.
Well, I imagine with the way Coach Simmis was fired up about that, I imagine we're going to put some points on the board now. He's going to be dialing up some plays to see if we can score and score fast. Or do you think he just regains his, I don't want to say composure, because Coach Simmis is one of the most composed coaches I've ever been around. So
not on the sideline on game day.
Is that right? Is that right? You've been down there with him. I have not.
Simmis, he's fired up. He is every bit of excited for these players, but also trying to make sure that everybody's doing their job.
So Capital kicking off. Again, Centennial will take it from about the 2-yard line. Tries to go up the middle. A hesitation move, and he breaks it free. And that is number 7, Charlie Faramo.
Wow, that was unfortunate. Number 19, going to give a little shout out here to Justice Del Rio. That's why we don't ever give up on a play. He made a move on the kicker, and he still caught him from behind. That's a big deal to give a chance for the defense to stop, maybe even get a turnover.
Well, Faramo, with a great little hesitation, got in behind the wedge and found his hole, and he busted up to the Capital 48-yard line. So it's 1st and 10, a little momentum for Centennial. 1:08 left in the first quarter. Cook back in the shotgun. And Centennial, I'm just going to guess, a 2-yard gain. They have ran the ball about 5-6 times, and it is like clockwork.
It's a little more than I thought they would try and do. I don't think it's their forte. I don't think that they match up well with us, D-line versus O-line, to be really chunking away at us. Maybe they think they can, you know, with just that single backer in there. Maybe they're trying to keep us honest and get us quick. Little fly motion there, but great play by number 45.
That was another quick run, but that one did not get that 2 yards.
Rudy Dye,
number 45 for us.
New black hat. I was just looking at this now. Every D lineman right now has got a black hat.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that's intimidating when you're the old lineman looking across at those guys right there.
Because like you have mentioned time and time again, you earned that black hat. They just don't give those away. So here we go.
Surprise, we got our safeties up pretty tight here against the bunch. I think they maybe knew that they were going to do something like that. Yeah, they were really aggressive to the line of scrimmage there in that bunch set. They knew that they were going to try and get a quick hit out there. They were coming down hard.
And Jackson Reed from the far side got a great break on the ball on that one. So if at any point in time Cook would have held up, that would have been a sack for Jackson Reed. But he throws it out into the flats. Centennial, they are 2 for 3 in these 3rd and long, 4th and long situations. Mid-range, not really long, 6 yards. Cook drops back. And he has a guy for a gain of about 7 and a first down. That's number 14, Luke Shabbat again.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk about this in pregame, but I kind of had a feeling that if we were going to be playing a little bit of cover 4 with that corner soft, and they're running twins or doubles, that route's famous. It's called a chair route. They got a guy going vertical to try and drive that corner out, and then the number 2 is doing a quick 5-yard out, and he's just running away from that outside backer, and that's what got the first down in this situation. Now they motion it empty. We're checking. We got a guy coming completely out of the box. We got nobody in the box. I don't know if Jackson Reed knows what he's doing.
Quarterback sneak that didn't go very far. He
Holy smokes!
Went for 2 yards again, and maybe that's Centennial's game plan. They're not going to go very far. They're just going to dink and dime out with 6 and 8 yard pass plays, gain 2 yards on a first down, make it a 2nd and 8, 3rd and 8, and they're just going to run those quick hits out. Maybe they've seen something in film for Capital. But that is the end of the first quarter. The Capital Eagles are up 14-0 on Centennial, but right now Centennial is threatening.
It is an important game. I think it was Turpin. I don't know if I'm saying it, Turbin or Turpin. They got injured last game that we called against Bora. Number 32, I believe.
Yeah, that's Abe Turpin. Absolutely, yes.
No, he was our starting backer in there. I think Jackson Reed just kind of stepped in. I want to make sure I give him a shout out that he's got high energy. He's got a lot of motion. He's got a great motor. I think he's just starting to learn some of these little things here now, and I'm watching Jacobson go right up to him right away, tell him to settle down. You know, in these situations, you just want the guy not to have to think. When he's not thinking, he's playing fast, he's playing hard. I hope that they can just kind of settle him down and make sure that he's not confused in the coverages. Because we need that guy in the middle of the field right there. And they went empty, and they just did QB right up the middle where no one was. Luckily, we got a great D-line to stop him. The motion again, they're going empty again.
With the 2nd and 8, Cook by himself in the backfield. Shotgun, he drops back, looks right, goes left, and wide open. Oh, that is number 9 for Centennial. Yeah. That is Caden Clark, the leading receiver in the entire conference in receptions and yards, and he is adding to those right now, and he's adding a touchdown to that resume. So, Caden Clark with a quick hit, and Centennial puts themselves on the board quickly in the second quarter.
Yeah, Justin Del Rio, the corner, he got left alone over there. I think when they motioned to empty, maybe the safety started looking to that wide side of the field and didn't help him out there on that skinny poster out. It's unfortunate.
Well, Centennial, they put some points on the board. The kick was good, so 11:55 in the second quarter. It's 14-7. Centennial showing some fight. The combination that we talked about early in the introduction is Cook to Clark. And, true to form, Cook to Clark for a touchdown.
Yeah, I didn't get the feeling watching the start of this game that we were doing anything special to bracket him at all. I think that we thought that we could sit back in a nice balanced coverage, but we'll see what kind of adjustments are being made. I mean, that's what good teams do. That's what great coaching staffs do. They scheme teams. They kind of try this and they try that. And the quicker they make those adjustments, you know, really the better the team's going to end up at the end of the game. And so we've got to make those adjustments just as quick to make sure that we stay on top.
Well, I'm going to give Coach Cook and his son Dane Cook a little bit of credit here. With Capital's tremendous pressure from the D-line, they're getting rid of the ball quickly. The game plan is stay shotgun, get the ball out quickly, and try to eliminate some of that pressure that Capital brings. Centennial kicks off. Capital takes it at about the 5-yard line, busts it up the sideline, and gets it all the way out to the 40. That was number 16 for Capital running that one out. And that's Jackson Beers on that one.
Yeah, good for Jackson getting an opportunity.
Capital takes over 1st and 10.
So 1st and 10.
40-yard line.
We'll see if Coach Simmons dials up a play to try to score quickly, or if we go back to Jones in the ground game.
Centennial is yeah, they're staying too high here.
And we're going deep, going early, and it's Blackham. Coach Simmons wasted no time at all. In fact, 15 seconds, one play, touchdown, Capital. What a great long ball by Hibbs again.
Again.
And Hibbs to Blackham again.
There was a chance there where I thought he overthrew him a little bit. I honestly did, but he put just enough air under the ball that he ran under it. Oh my gosh, he is throwing an unbelievable deep ball.
And Blackham, he just kept running, but you notice the Centennial's DB didn't quite believe it, and he flinched. He looked backwards and realized he was burnt, and he stumbled a little bit, and that freed up Blackham to make it a nice and easy catch. So Capital punches the kick through as well, and with 11:40 in the last 15 seconds, we've had 2 touchdowns, one for Centennial, one for Capital.
For our offense to jump out like this, 21 points just into the second quarter. Me watching film, I really thought Centennial was a pretty sound defense. I'm really surprised that we're getting past that deepest guy. They were in a too high look. They were in cover 4. We ran that to the point where we just got past that guy. They cannot allow that to happen if they want to keep this game tight.
Well, whatever momentum Centennial had,
yeah,
Capital knocked it right back out of them.
Indeed.
But Centennial, they're going to get the ball back. Their special teams out, waiting. Coach Tinker dialing up the kickoff.
Thank you for your support. Back to receive Chase Miller's kick, number 7 is Charlie Ferramo, and number...
Well, the Capital offense is certainly settled in. I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. I was kind of mumbling all over myself there at the beginning, but I've kind of settled in a little bit myself.
You're well-spoken. English teachers always are.
Well, we speak a lot. So here we go. Capital with the kickoff. Chase Miller. He kind of just pooch kicks that one off. Centennial takes it from the 20. Oh, a little extracurricular there.
Man, number 40 there, I think that's a Leaf kid. He got in there and he was trying to rip the ball a little bit, being aggressive. To the point where he needed to kind of tone it down after a certain point.
Well, and I think Del Rio, you mentioned number 19, Del Rio. He was feeling a little feisty after that last play himself. So here we go. Capital taking a defensive stand at the 29-yard line. Centennial looking to try to answer and regain momentum.
We're not changing. We're staying with what we got.
And Centennial staying with what they've got.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
A handoff on first down again for 2 yards again, and second in about 6. I guess they gained a little bit more on that yardage on that run. 3 yards this time.
I was expecting them to be more aggressive passing this game. I'm looking at bubbles, little swings to number 9. I don't know. Our corners are soft enough that I think they can be more aggressive on the perimeter.
Well, I don't think there's been a play series yet where Centennial didn't hand the ball off on that first play for a gain of 2 and then try to go back out to the flats like they did right there. Cook's pass was incomplete, intended for number 4 for Centennial, and that's Cooper Lowry. It was a little low. So 3rd down and 7.
3rd down and 7 for the Patriots on their own 32.
3rd down and 7 on their own 32.
Okay, tight bunch set.
Centennial trips to the far side in a tight bunch. Cook drops back.
Same play, pick. Oh! God, he did a better job that time. That was that same deep post route.
And Del Rio had a chance at a pick right there. Great coverage.
Yeah, he slid right under at the right time. That's what you want to do. Just didn't quite get his hands on it enough.
That would have been a nice confidence booster for Del Rio. But, well played. It is 4th down.
Cook's throwing a good ball. I mean, I think he's doing a good job standing in the pocket, throwing. I'm surprised that they're not being more aggressive with this. And being down by 14, I think they're going to come back to it. We just got to make sure we keep putting points on the board.
High snap on the punt. It's a line drive punt. Del Rio takes it. Not sure if he should have, but he did.
Whoa, I think he lost the ball.
No, he
Oh,
did
boy.
lose the ball.
Oh,
Indeed.
boy.
It was a line drive punt. I'm not sure Del Rio should have fielded that one, but he saw something, tries to get it, and lucks out by the fact that the referee blew the ball dead. I imagine Coach Cook is going to want an explanation on that one.
You ain't going to like the explanation, but I'm going to tell you that just from my point of view, Del Rio, he was still fighting for yardage, and he knew that guy went for the ball, and he recognized it and tried to cover it up, but that ball came out. We are really fortunate.
Well, I imagine that Coach Jacobson would love to talk to the defense, but I think Coach Tinker is going to get to Del Rio first and talk about how to play that next time.
Yeah, Coach Tink's great. He does a fantastic job with all those guys in special teams, especially punt return. Those are those mistakes that you cannot have. I think we had some of those early in the season, and we have to make sure that we're disciplined.
Capital with a quick hit, and it looks like a quick first down for themselves. That's Hibbs to Jackson Beers. Gain of about 16 yards. 1st and 10 on Capital's own 48. Hibbs with the keeper, up the middle again, and a quick dive for about a gain of 8, maybe 9.
That was a zone read there. They leave the D end. Hibbs really held on to that ball for a long time and ripped it out of the running back's hand because he knew he could beat that D end and run around him.
Hibbs hands off to Jones. It was short yardage. Gets bounced out, and wow, what a run right there!
You know what? That's Sean Holstein. I'm not joking. That's that sophomore that we watched.
Number 20. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I got him in class. He's a stud. He's a smart kid, and that guy just ran that ball really hard, running over guys. I saw a Capital sideline jumping up and down after that happened.
Well, he got stuffed early and bounced it out to the outside.
Yeah.
Bounced it out the outside and then laid a helmet on the defender. So Capital goes to the far side on that play.
They got a penalty on this, though.
A couple flags. I see them throw out. It would have been a first down.
Would have been, yeah. They're going to call this on number 2, Holly. He was a wide receiver out in the slot. I saw him trying to run with that DB, but that sideline judge, I saw him just trying to grab his flag, and he ended up throwing it pretty quick.
Well, Capital has picked up the pace on their play calling. They're getting up to the ball quickly. Yeah. Centennial's on their heels. Capital trying to take advantage of it. So any of that speed formation, any of those speed play calling, all of a sudden it's stunted by a penalty. And so Capital looking at a probably first down still. First and looks like
almost 20, yeah.
Yeah, almost 20.
Official call, and that ended up being a block in the back. I know he was just trying to ride him and run him out of the play, but unfortunately they did call that. Looks like Matt Rule on the little check down out there in the flats. That's maybe a 5-yard gain if that. 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Let's see if Capital can get a first down here and keep moving down the field.
Well, Centennial, their linebacker broke through right there and had a bead on Hibbs. It just happened that Hibbs rolled to the opposite direction. So Hibbs drops it out, gets back to the original first down, plus an additional 5. So we will be looking at about 3rd down and 5, maybe 6.
I'm surprised that before that ball was snapped, they got Centennial's number 19. He's on this close side of the field to us. He is up in press, man coverage on Blackham again. I'm just surprised that they're sticking with that. That is to our advantage to throw that ball over the top. He's soft now in this situation, motioning the trips, rolling out. I think Hibbs wanted to throw to Holly out there, but instead he just kind of plays it safe. Runs the ball. It looks like we're going to end up here with,
4th down and about 7, maybe 8.
7 yards, yeah.
You know, though, I imagine Coach Simmons, we still have the ball. He didn't try to force it. And I think earlier in the season, Hibbs with big expectations, tried to use his arm a few times and forced a couple of balls that ended up in picks. So I'm going to say, you know what, he's settled in as well for himself.
Yeah, I think it's good that he's not making bad decisions. And, you know, as a coach, you're going to say that if it's not there, then tuck it. Fourth down play right here. Throws it in the seam and a big catch.
Big catch, big pop, and flags fly in. It's probably going to be a leading with the head. Probably a personal foul right there on Centennial, but nonetheless, he holds on to it.
Matt Rule. Being a big tight end, big body, can take a hit like that. I'm glad to see him pop up. That was another big-time play. We've seen Matt make some amazing plays this year. When it really gets down to a 3rd and long or a 4th down play, man, they're looking to go to him.
Rule absolutely popped up, but he's a little wobbly still. A little wobbly.
I don't know.
But he did take a hit.
Shoulder or not.
Well, the training staff and Coach Simmons, they bumped out to get him. The personal foul, that'll bump it up half the distance to the goal. So Capital will be 1st down and on the 7.
Yeah, he looks like he's getting worse as he's walking off the field there, unfortunately. I've been in that situation where the bells are ringing and you just get up and go to the sideline. I think he's going to be sitting down here for a while. I hope that that wasn't worse than it looked.
Well, Pam Mariola, the trainer for Capitals, she was holding his elbow just to hold him up, but I am sure that it has to do with his head right there. And he's looking down, trying to figure it out. I hope it's not a concussion.
Yeah, Centennial, I have the feeling they were in cover 2. You know, that corner kind of got sucked up on an out route, and Matt Rule is able to hit that window. I mean, you practice that both offensively and defensively, that safety's got to be able to get to the #1 receiver in that window. And fortunately for Capital, we caught that ball in that window on a big 4th down play. But that safety was right there just a little late, and he put a big hit on Matt Rule. But kept Capital's offense alive. Here we are down on the 7-yard line on a 1st down. 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
So
fly sweep around the corner.
And
I think he's in.
I'm looking for the signal. He's going to be short.
They're going to call it. I thought he reached over the line, but that sideline judge came running in thinking maybe his knee was down.
And if it's on the 1-inch line,
this ain't even a half-yard line here, so I'm surprised they didn't give that to him. Just run right up the middle here. Hibbs keeps it. Ball's in the end zone, touchdown.
He didn't have far to go on that one. I don't even know if he's going to get a credit for a yard on that one.
I don't know. That's in the stat books, you know, rarely do you see 119.5 yards or 0.25 yards rushing. Just round up, right?
They've just rounded up. We're going to go ahead and give him with the 1-yard run right there. So with 6:56 to go in the second quarter, Capital High puts another touchdown on the board. They're lining up to kick it in. It's 27-7. This will make it 28. Tight end Matt Rule's still on the sideline. I think he's a little upset. I don't see him with his helmet, so he may be done for the night. The kick is good, so Capital 28-7. Yeah, I'm going to go out on the limb and say just the way Matt Rule, tight end, is being consoled by the coaching staff that he might be done for the night.
Yeah, you hate to see that, especially coming down to the last few games of the season. You want everybody healthy going into the playoffs. I know that we've got, not trying to look ahead too much here, we got a big conference game against Eagle. We really need Matt, and you know, maybe he's just kind of taking a break here, but you know, the game's going to go on. We're going to get another opportunity for another player to step up, fill his shoes. You know, next guy up is what we say, and that's why it's here at practice. That's why you got to be paying attention during practice. That's why you got to make sure you're getting some of those reps as best you can. You know, mental reps just as much as being out there physically. So we'll see who steps up in his place.
Well, football as a whole is a great game. It is a great game to be a part of, a great game to watch, a great game to play. Injuries are indeed, unfortunately, part of that. You never want to see it. You never want to see it on your own team. You never want to see it on the other team. You just want to have a good, clean game and hope everybody comes out the other end. But here we go. Chase Miller back to kick off for Capital again. This one goes deep-ish. Centennial takes it from about the 5-yard line, and he breaks it up the middle again. Scouting must have something on Capital.
And Centennial's got a great look there on their kick return. I mean, when I was coaching, they always had a great special teams. To see that wedge right there, he's waiting for those big boys to kind of blow it up, take it on, and then he's finding a little seam. It's been really impressive on that kickoff return.
That's number 7, Charlie Ferrermo for Centennial. He goes, he plays DB for the defense as well. So he'll take a breather.
Okay, wide side of the field here. There's a lot of room out there for, I believe that's Cook. He does a little bubble right there. That was a run-pass option. That's what I was talking about, RPOs. Cook was maybe thinking about throwing the bubble to number 9 out there.
That's Caden Clark. You
Yeah.
have to keep an eye on him.
I'm just surprised that they're not going back to that a little bit. He had a lot of room out there. He's a good athlete. It's a one-on-one against a backer. They're going to be coming back to that. Mark my words.
Well, here we go. Centennial takes the ball, and there we go. There's number 9. There's number 9. They weren't going to go very long without getting the ball back to Caden Clark. You don't lead the conference in receptions and not get the ball.
Yeah, that was a big game right there, if not 10 yards on just a 5-yard out. Again, he's just running vertical. He's got outside leverage on the defensive backer, and he's just running away from him on the sideline. And the timing's there with the pass. Our answer to that has to be a corner that's in cover 2, so you can kind of wait for that to come to him.
Well, Centennial goes back to their first down play call, which is a run up the middle. Gain of usually 1, 2, or 3 yards. It doesn't usually go very far, but then that sets them up for those little out passes that they've been killing us with.
2nd down and 8.
So Capital, known for their Gurkha defense, known for the Black Hats, is it an advantage looking across the other way and seeing that there's a couple guys with gold and maybe you go at those guys?
We talk about that sometimes, but you know what? Every year you start out with everyone that's got a gold hat as you start out. And as you trickle in some of those black hats as we play, it's the intimidation factor more, I think, than anything.
Okay. Well, Cook drops back, an incomplete pass intended for Damon Trafford. So Centennial looking at a 3rd down and 8.
Capital's still in a 2 high. They got trips up top.
Where's Caden Clark is what I'm asking myself.
Yeah.
Joey Q with a little jump there.
Yeah, he's number 3 here. That corner up there, he's definitely in a squat. I bet you he's not going to backpedal much. If he sees a bubble, he's going to be coming down hard. No, he gets a vert.
And there it is. The ball is out. Capital's D-line. It got to.
I don't know if we got it.
It got to Cook this time. Cook stepped up into the pocket,
Hey,
but
Capital
when he did
football, all right.
When Cook stepped up in there, I think he bobbled the ball. I didn't see anybody knock it out, but the D-line applied the pressure, and Cook fumbles it. He does not have, he has 5 interceptions on the year, and I don't know how many fumbles, but great job stepping up. He just didn't take the ball with him, and Capital's defense comes away with a big turnover with 5:31 to go in the 2nd quarter.
I got to admit, my eyes were in the secondary. I was looking at routes. I was watching the corner up top to see what he was doing coverage-wise, and next thing I know, the ball's popped out. So I can't give credit to whoever pressured him to do that. I'm sure it was a black hat because they all got one.
There was 4 of them in the backfield right there. So somebody applied the pressure. Capital goes across the middle. Nice catch to number 2 for Capital, and he runs it all the way up to the Capital or the Centennial 21-yard line. That's correct. That is Hawley with the catch and run.
He was in the slot. He got past that second line of defense. Just got right behind the backer, and the ball was there quick. I mean, he barely turned around. The ball was there. He made a great adjustment with that Big play for Capital. 5 minutes, 20 seconds left in the half. See if they can go down here and get up by 28 now.
Hibbs in the shotgun. He decides to keep it, a fake to Jones, busts it to the outside, and he'll run out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. You know, Hibbs, early in the season, I think with the pressure that he probably put on himself and was really forcing a lot of plays, I imagine Coach Simmons, a quarterback himself, slowed him down, said, this is the plays we want you to run, this is how I want you to focus. But Hibbs has really been playing well. Capital tries to sweep it to the outside, but Centennial was all over that one. It looks like number 24 for Capital, and that's Jake Jones.
Yeah, that was a big loss. Third and 11 now. And just to piggyback off what you were saying there about Simmons, you got to remember his son, Little Simmons, is also on the coaching staff, who was a quarterback up at Montana. I'm sure he's had a big role in kind of taking Hibbs under his wing and throwing the ball around. I see him out of practice. He's throwing the ball just as much as Hibbs, and I'm sure he's giving him pointers, and I think they've really, really improved on that. So big play here, 3rd and 11. Capital had a tray look, it looked like.
Well, there is a flag on the far sideline. Hibbs' pass, I hope we didn't jinx him right there, because that one was indeed almost picked off.
False illegal procedure. I don't know. I didn't see the false start. Maybe it was. That's going to back us up 5, so now we're even in a 3rd and 16. But, in these situations, this is 2-down territory for Todd Simmons.
Well, Ryan, I think it was either number 8, Ryan Earl, or number 6, Brian Burrell for Centennial that almost picked that off. So I think Capital lucked out. So continuing the line that we were talking.
They declined that. So that was not a false start. That was an illegal procedure, so maybe someone wasn't lined up on the line of scrimmage. Not enough guys on the line of scrimmage, and we threw the ball, so that's an illegal procedure. Interesting decision by Centennial there, so they declined it. Now it's 4th down, but we're still in that situation where it's 4th and 11. So
on Centennial's 33, interesting decision
they're in
indeed.
They're in 0. You see the guy running with the motion. Yeah, they got pressure on us. They came, they brought the house, they manned up, and they got to us. Hibbs had to get rid of the ball, and our wide receiver didn't get up the sideline to turn on that. Hats off to Centennial. They got us in that situation. I think that penalty definitely put us in a spot there where it wasn't 2-down territory anymore.
So Centennial declines the penalty, puts Capital in the fort, brings the pressure, Hibbs with an incomplete pass, and Centennial, takes over with 4:16 to go on their own 33.
Now 4 minutes left to go in the half here. Tight bunch set. Let's see if they throw a quick throw out here and just get body on body. We've got 3. They got 2 blockers. Looks like they end up running a nice little crossing route to 9 again.
Yeah, he popped open right in the middle out of that trio of receivers.
That's the disadvantage a little bit, You spread them out like that. We got 1 backer in the middle. That backer's got to be looking that direction for anything crossing him, and he ended up getting behind him, and there's a lot of space in the middle of the field with this 4-1 defense.
Well, to the near side, Caden Clark, wide receiver for Centennial.
Two back set there. See if they can get a good angle here. All right, looks like a loss of 1 or 2 on that play. Good job by the Capital defense.
Well, I could have told you that they were going to run it. Centennial's game plan has been scripted all the way along. They have ran
first down. First down. All right. Well, are they going to pass it then? I would.
Well, they've done that on 2nd and 3rd every time as well. So
same bunch setup here. See if they do the crossing route. If they throw a quick hitch, now they go in empty. They're trying to see what we're going to do. I don't want that corner to get too wide over there. That's the running back. Let him be isolated.
They isolated Clark and came back, and Del Rio pushes Clark out. And it was a nice solid run by Clark. He went just far enough to get to the first down, and the chains are moving. And the clock is running again. 3 minutes left. Centennial on the march at midfield exactly.
Yeah, Centennial scheming us a little bit. They see something when they go empty. 2-back set here. They're going to have a lead blocker. I'm going to try to watch the lineman here. They kind of got body on body. That was, I almost looked like midline. That was veer. I couldn't quite see the far end over there if they left him, but no, that's triple option basically that you're looking at.
Well, Centennial, it was a first down, and they tried to run it again. They tried to go to the outside this time instead of running it up the middle, but the result is still the same. A gain of 1, 2, or 3. And now here we go, 2nd and long. Cook.
Coming back to it, 2-back set here. Can't quite see that far offensive lineman for Centennial. We're going to see if he leaves our D in. Now pass. Heads up. They're passing. Oh, nice play by Del Rio.
Great play by Del Rio.
Coach Banks that's his boy down there, DB coach. He was quick to let him know. That was a great play.
Great play.
Get him excited.
Caden Clark is who the intended receiver was, and he ran that deeper out. And Del Rio with a great break on the ball and knocking that loose. That's a great momentum builder, confidence builder for Del Rio. One of the gold hats, unfortunately, still out there, but he's trying to show off for the coaches and do his job to get that black hat. 2:22 to go. Cook back.
Oh, great catch.
Great catch across the middle.
First down.
I'll let you guess on who caught that.
Yeah.
Number 9, Caden Clark.
Well, again, hats off to Centennial. They're doing a good job of hiding him and moving him into, he's the number 2 here. He's the number 3 here in trips. And the last game we called with Bora, we definitely made an adjustment against their, one of their best receivers, Bolt, and we were bracketing him. We have not had that opportunity to do that because Centennial's kind of hiding him in that number 3 spot. Goes in motion. QB keeps it. God, he cut back on the backside there. Saw a flag come in. I have a feeling this is going to be against Centennial.
Maybe a hold. I didn't quite see. Holding. Yes, it is. So they're going to back that up. So with 1:48, it was 1st and 10 at the 32. So it should be 1st and 10 at the 42. I'm guessing.
Now fortunate for us, but these are drive killers. When you're an offense and you're trying to plug away and you're actually getting good yardage, time's coming off the clock. We're already under 2 minutes left in the half, and then all of a sudden on first down you get a holding. So now it's 1st and if not just a little more than 20. So big advantage here for Capital. See if the defense can keep these guys from getting a first down and get out of the half without them scoring. Screenplay.
There's the screenplay that you've been wondering if they would go to.
I know. I thought they'd have a little bit more of that. That's probably a good call on first down, really, just to see if they can catch them off guard. And those D linemen, when they got a motor and they're getting up the field, they're going to throw screenplays like that.
And that was a completion to Charlie Ferramo. He's the kid that's been running those kicks back. He's kind of had a hot hand as far as returning the ball. So let's see what he can do. Put the ball in his hands with the bubble screen and see if he can try to emulate that on the offensive side, not just special teams. So there was a whistle.
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to figure out why they stopped the clock. I thought maybe Centennial was going to call a timeout.
They've got 3 of them.
And it doesn't look like they've charged a timeout to anybody. Maybe there's a clock issue here. Yeah, I think they're trying to communicate with the guys in the box next to us that they need to put a little bit more time on the clock.
Capital's clock guy is former coach Gary Harvey in there.
Yeah, he was my coach.
Yeah, he was my coach as well. In fact, we may have to have a conversation about that.
Are you going to talk about the Hogs?
The Hoggles.
The Hoggles.
The Hoggles.
Oh, man. Oh,
whoa.
my.
If you didn't know before, leading sack artist in the conference for Capital is Joey Kittigwa, otherwise known as...
I'm going to say Joey Q.
Joey Q. He leads the conference in sacks.
He came in hot.
He just added another one. Whatever formation that was, don't run that again, Centennial.
Okay, 3rd and 24. Can we back off a little bit? Make sure nobody gets behind us. corners. That you can take another step and I'd be happy. Looks like they're going empty. I mean, this is where the situation here. They're going to run probably a deep crossing route, throw the ball up. They need to get 20 yards on this to make it doable.
Well, they picked up about, still on his feet.
Get the ball out. Well,
they get to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, maybe a gain of 10, 12. Here they are, 4th down. Centennial calls a timeout now. They're going to have to talk about this. Come up with something that they can maybe survive and get another set of downs here to get in the end zone with only 38 seconds left. That sack, I'm surprised they didn't call a timeout after the sack now when I think about it.
You would think that...
I mean, the minute went off at least after that sack. They probably should have called a timeout. They still got 2 left.
They've got 38 seconds left, but it is 4th and about 12. Maybe they're just trying to get to the locker room. But they're on Capitol's side of the field. You would think they'd try to take a stab, to try to put some points on the board, to try to get a little momentum going into the half so they can come back out into the 3rd quarter with a little extra energy. So I'm not going to let Coach Harvey off the hook here. You know, the tight ends, I was a receiving tight end, but I had to go and work with the linemen.
Yeah.
And I thought if I was going to go down and practice with the linemen, block for Adam Alanis, which was just a pleasure to do.
Oh, he was, I've admitted this, I think he was one of the best athletes ever to go through Capitol.
But if I was going to work with the linemen, I wanted my Hoggle shirt.
4th down. Oh, they would have had the 1st down if he could have held on to that. Number 14 ran a little.
Shabbat.
Yeah, that's called a dig route. He came vertical a long ways and then came shallow and flat. And boy, that was a big opening there.
Well, 4 seconds left to go in the half. That's not a lot of time in general, but that is plenty of time for the Capital Eagles to put more points up on the board. So Capital drawing up the play calls. Centennial's defense already on their heels.
Yeah, I see us just kind of running maybe once and heading to the locker room here with a 21-point lead.
I feel like that was a double momentum killer for Centennial. They ran the clock down instead of trying to get some points to help themselves out. Now they had the 1st down. Luke Shabbat dropped it on a nice ball. Capital's offense.
Delay of game.
Delay of game.
Yeah, I think we were, I don't know, maybe we were just trying to get set up there, weren't paying attention to the field judge. Quarterback should be able to see him. What he does is he puts his hand up with that 5 seconds and he starts giving the countdown. He obviously didn't pay attention to that. Looks like we're taking a knee here.
I think we had a play call to start us off, but Coach Simmons, he decides that 28-7 lead will be enough.
Yeah, 25 seconds. They're just going to get one more snap in. 3rd down. Clock runs out. Teams will hustle into the locker room. So go ahead and call it, Blas. Great 1st half for Capital.
It's a great 1st half for Capital. It's 28-7. The Capital Eagles, who've been on fire, are still on fire. The Centennial Patriots, who have dropped 3 in a row, are continuing to struggle and are down 21. So here we are. Donna Larson Field on a great fall night. I'm Blas Telleria with Jason Gordon. The half is over. We're going to take a quick break. We'll get back. We've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to go and find Coach Harvey, and I'm going to try to get my Hoggle shirt. I'm sure he's got a couple in the garage.
I still have mine. You don't have yours?
You absolutely should have one.
You don't still have yours?
I still don't have it. I'm going to go get it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's halftime. The Capital Band is coming out. It's 28-7. We have a 15-minute break here, and then we'll be back. We've got some things to talk about. Brock Forsey, I believe we've got some people that you played against for Centennial, so we're going to talk about that, and we'll be back shortly.
All right, let's give it up for those Capital Go Girls.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Capital versus Centennial. It's the beginning of the third quarter. There's 20 seconds left in halftime. Here are some of the halftime stats. That's what we did for you while we were running around at halftime. Try to track down some stats. So what I've got for you is this. For the Centennial Patriots, Dane Cook, he's 11 for 19 for 146 yards. And then Clark, Caden Clark, the conference's leading the conference in receptions and in reception yards, is simply just adding to that. He's got 8 receptions for 122 yards. For Capital, Hibbs is 11 for 14 for 207 yards, and 120 of those yards has gone to Blackham with 4 catches. And rushing-wise, Hibbs is leading the way with 46 yards. So here we go to start the second half. Capital will be kicking off this half to Centennial.
Number 7, Charlie Furbo.
Both teams had the opportunity to make some halftime adjustments. Capital feeling the momentum of the lead, Centennial on their heels. They need to come out of halftime with a quick score to give themselves a little bit of confidence and get themselves back into the game. What are the keys to the second half here for Centennial, Jason?
Well, I feel like I've been speaking out loud a little bit with them being a little bit more aggressive on the pass game. They've had a few little runs here and there with not much success. I think Cook's doing a great job standing in the pocket. I know he's been sacked once, maybe rushed twice. But I'm telling you, he's sitting back there throwing dimes. And down by 21, I think you let him loose. I think you start opening the field up a little bit more. Capital, I'm just going to kind of sit here and see what kind of adjustments they have. Right now they're coming out in a 2x2. They're kind of stacked. We call that a stack, you know, which kind of tends to back off the corner. Run play.
Well, Centennial comes out with, it looks like the same game plan.
Yeah.
Run the ball on first down, gain 2 or 3 yards, get a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7. They started on the 15-yard line. The Capitals' kick died on the 15. I think Capital's return man thought maybe it would go out of bounds, but it just sat there and he waited for it to roll and it didn't. And so that would have been doomsday for Centennial to start off, but they have it. On 2nd down.
And that's a big run, actually, right there. He got a lot of room. I had my eyes in the secondary. I couldn't tell what they ran there.
Well, they went right up the middle with Preston Esplin. So Centennial comes out with 2 runs in a row. If they decide to pass right here, that'll have broke their little pattern that we've kind of caught on to up here in the booth.
Yeah, we're packing the box here too. It looks like we're in corners looking inside, but safeties are downhill. Now we kind of back a guy off, but he's still in the box, so we're coming with the house. Get your eyes around. Gosh, I was waiting for Del Rio. I was trying to find the ball. He was in great coverage there. That looked like, man coverage 0. Kind of threw me off because the corner closest to us, he had his eyes in the backfield. But
that was intended for Luke Shabbat. He's the kid that dropped that big first down play for Centennial. So Centennial trying to get their receiver back, feeling good about himself, going back to him, get his confidence going again. But Capital, it looks like they're lining up and coming again. Cook drops back. And they went to Shabbat again.
Yeah, they've been doing that. They've been running that bunch set to trips, and then they're just isolating that guy on the backside because they know it's just one-on-one out there. And maybe Jacobson's adjustment here is that he wanted to bring a little bit more pressure. Here he is in the situation where he's only got 1 high. We're in a press coverage. We got that guy way out. He's just pressing him right now with the corner over the top. That ain't number 9. Pass play, though. Quick slant. First down for Centennial on 3rd and 3.
Cook showed some great arm strength right there. He was on his back heel with the pressure that Capital put on him, and he threw that ball on a rope off his back heel, and that got the first down for Centennial. So, slowly but surely, Centennial is moving. They're still on their own 45-yard line.
Watch this corner down here in the trips. He's just kind of sitting, waiting for an out. Oh, they ran that screen play. That was a good play. That caught us off guard big time.
Yes, it did, and it's a gain of about 17 on that. And so Centennial, finding the momentum, they cross midfield and are into Capital territory. Centennial's offense has obviously made their adjustments. They've seen a few things that they like. Now it's time for Capital to figure out what they're going to do to adjust themselves. Priority number 1, find number 9.
Two back. This is where they're running at. I haven't been able to tell the zone. That's pass. All the linemen popped up. Deep post.
That number 9. Intended for Caden Clark. But Del Rio with the coverage. And again, Del Rio played great coverage right there. Didn't give up much space. Made a nice play on the ball to cut it off. Nice job, Del Rio. So, 2nd and 10. Centennial trailing 28-7, 9:24 in the third, trying to find some momentum.
Again, they're moving number 9. I keep mispronouncing his name sometimes here. Is it
for Capital?
No, for Centennial.
Caden Clark.
Clark. I keep messing up Clark and Cook. Clark, they're doing a great job moving him around. We can't have that opportunity to keep him isolated like that because they're going to keep coming back to him. Well, that looked like a backward pass, too, on a swing. And only a couple-yard gain. Here we are at 3rd down and 8. 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it would be wise to get some of the other athletes involved for Centennial's offense because Capital is certainly going to focus on Clark having the 8 catches for 122 yards in 1 half. So maybe use him as a decoy a little bit. Cook drops back, scrambles under pressure, and he goes down for a sack of about 6 yards. And there is a flag on the play, too. I'm going to guess maybe holding?
Yeah, typically when you see the flag thrown there, it's holding on the offensive line. 3rd down and long, though. We got a sack. I see us declining this and being 4th down. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, declining. 4th down, I would probably predict here maybe that Centennial is going to maybe kick the ball.
Well, I did not see who got the sack. The pocket collapsed. Cook didn't exactly show much mobility to try to get out of that. I saw more mobility in the 1st half. I also saw him hobbled up a little bit. I wonder if that's something that's lingering or if that's just my imagination.
I was, again, defensive coach here, sorry. The secondary had a totally different look. They had a free safety in the middle of the field. I think they did a better job of getting on the guys on the seam routes there, and he wanted to throw it right away, but it wasn't there. He had to hold the ball. Next thing you know, you got pressure in your face, and it's 4th down.
Well, Centennial punts that one away, and Del Rio this time, it looks like Coach Tinker's message on special teams got to him because that was not a very good punt, and Del Rio just stayed away from that one and let it go out of bounds. So Capital, with 8:23 in the 3rd quarter, still leading 28-7. Looks like they'll be 1st and 10 on their own 12-yard line. We may have a quick delay here. The scoreboard just went out.
Yeah, just to fill some time here while they fix the scoreboard and get the correct score up in time. Looks like they got it back up here, but Capital's defense, Jacobson, he turned around and switched things around. They're playing a completely different defense, getting a different look, and I think it's throwing Centennial off. Little fly sweep. Nice little spin move there by 22. He's going both ways.
That's Picard.
Yeah, he plays corner for us, and here he is at wide receiver getting a nice run play in.
Hayden Picard with a big run. That gets the 1st down, a gain of 15. He comes out, gets a couple of high fives from the coaching staff. Capital lines up quickly. The fly sweep again. This time to Michael Hawley. And he breaks it up the sideline, and he had ground to go. But Centennial's number 26, Charles Finnegan, saved the day. Otherwise, we were looking at maybe another 10, 15 yards right there for Hawley. But Capital on the march.
For any of you ex-players and young kids that are out there, you had Sweep coming your way, Centennial number 6, outside backer. He did a great job jumping outside, but then he kind of got sucked inside, and guess what? The guy got to the outside and got a big play out of that. You just want to hold the edge, turn him back into all your buddies are. Looks like we're going back at him again, doing the same thing the other way.
And that was Picard again, and this time a gain of about 7 yards. So Picard comes into the game, gets 2 rushes for about 23 yards. Comes back out. Capital looking to the sideline for the play call. Coach Simmons calling it in. The offense adjusting. Hibbs in the shotgun. In motion. Oh, a bobble. Looks like a broken play that could have been trouble for Capital, but the ball gets exchanged, and indeed, Capital moves the ball forward for a gain of about 1, maybe 2. So 3rd and short for Capital on Centennial's 43-yard line. Again, Capital's looking to Coach Simmons on the sideline, looking for the play call. Centennial's defense on its heel. Not a lot of energy back there. They need to get a big play here for themselves. And up the middle, and that was the play that I'm talking about to give a little momentum to Centennial. They stuffed the 3rd down and short, and it's a no gain. So it's 4th and 1.
I think they're going to go for it. They just took Jones out. They brought Holstein in. He's a little bit bigger back. You know, maybe not Holstein's going to take it here, but he's definitely going to get a body on somebody.
You have to watch Hibbs on this one, taking it himself and bouncing it to the outside as well.
Now they give it on the fly sweep, and I think he's short.
Oh, it's going to come to a measurement for sure.
Yeah, if they say he's even close enough, no, they don't even take the measurement. I thought he was short too, but man, I don't know about running laterally in that situation. I like going downhill. You got 1 yard. Let's see what your O-line can do. And sometimes when you're taking that long and a lot of bodies up on the line of scrimmage, it doesn't turn out well.
Well, I was thinking maybe we get a measurement in and get the chain gang involved in this game besides just marking it down. On that chain gang, interesting fact, there are 3 Capital varsity coaches over there. The Capital girls basketball coach, Ron Marthy. The Capital boys basketball coach, Scott Moore. And the wrestling coach, Coach Zander. So, Elliot Zander. So 3 varsity coaches. They're the B team for the chain gang for Capital, but they are the A team when it comes to the coaching.
Yeah, of course.
So Capital turns it over on down. Centennial goes back to their traditional run the ball for 1 yard, maybe 2.
Yeah, we're creeping a safety down.
I'll tell you what. Cook tried to get that quick hit, but Capital jumped it well, and Cook did a nice job of bringing it back because Capital made a great play on the ball. But it looks like there's a flag.
Yeah, I caught it. You know, at the beginning of the program, I was kind of talking about RPOs, run, pass, option. Well, if you're going to throw the ball, the lineman can't go downfield, and that's exactly what happened here. You know, maybe Coach Jacobson was in the sideline judge's ear a little bit to let him know that there was an old lineman downfield a little bit, but to our advantage, they got to play by the rules and backing them up 5 yards. So here we are, 2nd and 13. We're going to play this a little bit soft, cover 4 it looks like. I think we call that horns in this situation. 5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. And they run it.
They run it on a 2nd and 13. Capital runs it, or excuse me, Centennial runs it for a gain of nothing. And it's a gold hat on the D-line that got the stop. I can't quite see the number. Who is Capital missing off of the D-line? Oh, right there, number
Joey.
5. It's Joey Q.
Oh, boy. That's a big deal.
The pocket collapses for Cook. He scrambles, but he is in trouble. And I have a number this time. That is Charlie Hassiter. Charlie, I hope I'm saying your last name right. And I'm guessing that was you that had the tackle the last time as well. So nice job, Charlie.
Penalty against Capital.
I saw DBs there chasing bodies. We were in a man coverage there with 2 deep. He didn't have anything. He was just trying to buy time and see if he could get someone to separate. But
what was the penalty there? After the big sack, Capital charged with the penalty, and Centennial moves the ball up to 3rd down and 7.
I missed the call by the umpire.
Well, I'll tell you who didn't like it was Coach Root. He doesn't have the leeway to go all the way out to midfield like Coach Simmons did, but he at least made it to the numbers before he backed it back in.
Now, those sideline judges are quick to tell you that they ain't going to talk to anybody and they're going to listen to anybody unless it's the head coach.
Well, you may not want to listen to Coach Root, but you're certainly going to hear him. He has his mother's voice, and if you've ever been to a game when Coach Root was playing, his mother, you could hear hear her from a mile.
Oh yeah, especially in the gymnasium. She definitely could let you know how she was feeling about the refereeing at the time.
I will say this though, if you ever get the opportunity to hear Coach Root sing, he has got a great voice. A great voice.
And he ain't ashamed to share it.
A lot of practice, he says, in the shower. So here we go. Capital with the pressure. Cook in trouble. Tries to scramble it out. Does get out, but he bobbles and wobbles his way all the way back to the line of scrimmage. He was in trouble from the get-go. Coverage broke down for the O-line for Centennial. I'm picking up the D-line, and we're looking at 4th and long, 4th and 11. It is Centennial. They hesitated. They hesitated on punting it, but I think
they were just waiting for the coach to make the call. I think it's the right decision in this. Back on their own 42.
Well, they are down 3 scores. It is still a little bit early in the second half, although it is 28-7, 2:52 to go. Capital brings the pressure. And again, a 3rd bad punt. And again, Del Rio lets this one go. I think, that wasn't Del Rio in the back. That was Blackham this time. So Capital brought the pressure, almost got the block.
Yeah, I think it was Piva, number 9. He didn't lay out, but, man, I thought he was going to get there just in time to maybe get that punt blocked.
That's not exactly a drill that's fun to practice, laying out for that. But it hurts when you do get the blocked punt, especially when it's cold out. You catch that kick with your hands. But
you don't feel anything.
You don't.
When you block it.
When you block it.
You don't feel anything.
So here comes the Capital Eagles. They come out with play in hand. Hibbs in shotgun. And it's back to Jones up the middle. And he's got a little bit of room. And he squeaks his way for a gain of 9.
That's Jake Jones, the ball carrier. Brought down by
So Jake Jones gets Capital almost to midfield. Capital and Hibbs reels it back in. Number 52 for Centennial came right up the middle. Mason Denton, nobody got anybody on him. And he came right up the middle, and Hibbs hauls the ball back in and takes the sack. So Capital now looking at 3rd and 5, maybe 6.
on their own 43-yard line.
Looking back to the sideline.
Yeah, I'm not seeing Centennial. They're not bringing any pressure right now. Simmons wanted to get a look to see what the D is going to do. He's got the call in. See if we can get a first down. Roll out to the right. Perfect.
And that's to number 2 for Capital. That's Michael Hawley. And Capital picks up the first down and some. Past midfield, onto the 40, onto the 38-yard line. Capital hustles up to the play. Centennial still scrambling to get down. Capital scrambling to get into position. As soon as they do, Hibbs with the call. Pump fake, scrambles himself. And Centennial brings the pressure, and they get to him. It won't go down as a sack. I think Hibbs got back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of 1 if it's a kind measurement. Or a kind spot.
That was just it was another timed route. He wants to get rid of the ball immediately, but Centennial had a body on somebody, and he had to keep the ball, and not enough time to really find that second or third option, so he just took off running.
The last two plays, the Capital tried to hurry it up. I'm not sure if the O-line got the call because we've given up two big plays.
Okay, a little check down to the tight end.
That's number 10.
Yeah, Keyshawn.
Keyshawn Stuckman, and he battles his way for about a gain of 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, I think he's the one coming in for Matt Rule, who's just going to be watching from the sideline the rest of this game. Again, their little rollout, similar to what they did on the other side. They were just trying to get Hawley kind of in that soft zone out there and find a hole, but this time Centennial did a better job. Took the check down, got a good gain. Holstein on the run. It's going to be close. I saw a flag come in.
Come in late.
Yeah.
But it was down. Yeah, they're going to call holding. I was holding out, thinking maybe it was a face mask or something. I was holding out, but no. So Capital will back it up with a holding call. So what was 3rd and 1?
Yeah.
With 19 seconds to go in the third quarter, Capital still up 28-7.
2-down territory. Let's chunk a little bit here, and I think we're going to be going forward on 4th down.
So as the clock ticks down, 15 seconds, it looks like Coach Simmons will be happy to let the clock run out and to switch ends of the field and draw up a great play to start the 4th quarter. So it's 28-7, Capital on top of the Centennial Patriots. Capital putting their 4 up into the air, symbolizing the 4th quarter.
That's been around a long time here for all those players that have played at Capital. Get those 4 fingers up, saying that 4th quarter, let's step up, rise up. I see even Coach Harson doing that, I think, with Boise State players.
So we started this conversation earlier where some of the great Centennial players that have been in the neighborhood of Capital, players like Mark Achenbaugh, Brett Barkley, LaJeunesse Pancratz, Matt Swanson, and then we got to Brock Forsey, who went to Boise State and was one of only 3 players to score 30 touchdowns with Troy Edwards and Barry Sanders, and was eventually drafted by the Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins. Who were some of the other great players that you played with when you went toe-to-toe with Centennial?
Yeah, I don't have fond memories of playing Centennial in high school. They had a great crew. They ended up winning a championship right then when I was playing at Capital. You know, you bring up Forsey. I mean, they definitely put him in I-backs, and I was butting heads with the fullback. Yeah, on that play there, while we were talking, we tried to go deep to Blackman. Here we are, 4th down. See what they draw up.
So Capital tries to go deep to Blackham. It's an incomplete pass. Pretty good coverage by Centennial on that one.
Yeah, I almost hesitate to give shout out to some of those ex-Centennial players, but you know, I played with them when I was really young, and then we ended up playing against each other. There's Scott Nagels, Luke Wolf, Bo Johnson, Brandon Pritchett. I mean, these are guys that played at Centennial on a great team, and you know, they had a lot of success in the late 80s and then maybe the late 90s, and looking to get back to that. I think they were in a state title game back in 2000 and I want to say 8, maybe 9 or 10. They ended up playing against Coeur d'Alene, I believe.
I think they won it. I think that was the last time Centennial won. They have 4 state champions.
Really?
I just can't recall what year. Capital, incomplete on that pass. So Capital turns it over, and Centennial will take over on their, looking at about the 40-yard line. Luke Wolf with Capital legend over at Mountain View head coach Judd Benedict.
Yeah, he's the AD down over there now.
And Centennial comes back with their own deep ball. Cook throws it deep, intended for number 4 for Centennial, Cooper Lowry. but he just overthrew him. And the pattern that Cooper was trying to run, Lowry was trying to run, just didn't quite add up. So it's second down. A break of pattern for Centennial right there, not running it on first down, but you are also trailing 21 or down 21. So you're going to have to try throwing it just a little bit more, I think.
He was looking for.
He was looking everywhere for number 9.
He
was looking, but great coverage.
Yeah.
And instead he throws it underneath to number 24, Preston Esplin. And it's an incomplete pass. He bobbled it. Now I will say this. If Centennial is going to have to be in a position to throw the ball more, this is where you'll start to see Capital's D-line really start to crank it up and add to that sack total. Capital has the number 1, number 2, and number 3 guy in the conference in sack totals. So Centennial has to be cautious. Cook still needs to get rid of the ball quickly.
Something looked funky. Yeah, that was a false start.
So Centennial, 3rd and 10.
Third down at 15. Ball's on the Patriots' 35-yard line.
Cook back in the shotgun, in motion, rolls to the near side, scrambling, and it gets deflected.
That was an awesome play. Number 58, I think he's subbing in, you know, for
Joey Q.
Joey Q. God, he gets his hands up. I was watching the motion guy. He really came really tight to the
It's a 4th down for the Patriots.
They're making adjustments for that D-line. It's giving him some pressure here when they got to throw the ball. And being 3rd down and 15, that ended up being a great play by 54. I don't know his name.
It's
Give him a shout
58.
out.
It's Charlie. That's 3 plays. We're going to have to get his
58?
last name.
Okay.
We're going to have to send a runner to get his last name because that's 3 great plays that he has. And the punting game for Centennial just isn't very good tonight. Capital applied some pressure, even got a leap up on that one. Nobody dove out for it, but that's the 4th bad punt for Centennial, and Capital will get a 1st and 10 on their own 38. So the Eagles break from the huddle. Centennial making their quick adjustment.
Just the start of the 4th quarter. Incomplete pass. I was just going to mention here, you know, get a long drive.
Well, we don't know Charlie's last name, so we're still working on figuring out how to say Charlie's last name. Everybody's sticking their head trying to tell us how to do it. Hastrider. Hastrider is what they're trying to say. Our runner came back to remind me, hey, you're not saying Charlie's name right. We're not saying Charlie's name at all.
I'm still on Joey Q.
Well.
Well,
Hastrider, we got you now, though, buddy. So Charlie Hastrider with a bunch of defensive plays, but Capital is now with the ball with a 3rd down and 10.
yeah, we just got down into 10.5 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Looks like Capital's taking their time, trying to draw some time off the clock. It's 3rd down and 11. See if they run the ball here and end up punting, or if they're going to be aggressive and pass and get this 1st down.
Just a little clock management. Nope, they're going deep.
Oh, my.
Oh, and he's wide open if it connects. I'll give you a guess. It's Hibbs to block him again.
Oh, boy.
The same play. 2 touchdowns earlier, and they were 1 shoestring away from a 3rd touchdown connection. So Capital with a huge gain. in the red zone, on the 10-yard line, looking to put the first points in the second half up on the board. And it goes up the middle to Jones, and he scrambles his way in. Yes, touchdown. So Capital, just as we were saying, it's a defensive battle that nobody had put any points on the board. With one pass and one run, Capital scores a touchdown and goes up 34-7.
That's impressive again. Took their time, third and long, 3rd and 11. Just decided they'll throw the ball up to Blackham.
Yeah.
That's the game plan here.
Yeah, we'll just let him, maybe he is all of 6'4" like the measurement says.
Charlie's running out there.
Charlie Hastrider. Now I'm going to give credit where credit's due. That was Coach Justin Stringer, another tight end legend from Nampa Christian. Led the Trojans with a dominant performance in the day. He's the one that gave us the name of Hastrider to make sure that we were in the loop. So the kick is good. It's 35-7, 10:24 to go in the fourth quarter. Capital feeling good about bumping on to 5-2. And unfortunately for Centennial, it looks like they are in dire straits and looking at 4 straight losses. And I don't remember what Centennial's schedule was, but I think they've got a tough go ahead of them.
Yeah, I think they've played Bora. I think they've played Mountain View. I think they played Skyview. I'm probably missing another team in there, but I know they've got a couple tough games ahead of them.
Hopefully not number 1 Rocky. They're firing on all cylinders still. Had a tough go last night trying to contain a new formation from the Bora Lions, who ran a wildcat against Rocky Mountain I guess that was Mountain View. I guess they
played Mountain View.
They played Mountain View last night. So I'm off on my teams there.
Stanley had an injury, I guess, and so they stepped up to one of their playmakers, Magnuson, and he stepped up to play quarterback for them, and he still threw the ball, but we also had, I think, 150 yards rushing.
A soft kick. Centennial picks it up at the 10, scrambles it out to the 25-yard line. Centennial's number 7, Charlie Faremo. He sat behind that wedge and patiently waited, but Capital had better coverage this time, and there was really no place to go with that soft punt. So Centennial takes over on officially the 29-yard line. A little bit more sense of urgency. They came out with play in hand and lined up quickly.
Yeah, Capital, it must be...
Cook drops back. He's looking deep.
Yeah, that was a straight
he
up
flinched,
cover 3.
but he got it up there.
Yeah, I think that's a good no call. I was trying to look at their eyes of the DBs there. They only had one safety. I thought maybe they're going to be in cover 1 right there, but that was definitely zone eyes. They brought another guy downhill, which is surprising. You're up by 28. You think that they're going to throw the ball a little bit. Maybe getting that guy in the middle of the field is something they're more confident with. Or maybe they're working on something for next week.
Well, they certainly were looking for Caden Clark there. And now that I'm thinking about it, not only were they scoreless, has Clark caught a ball this second half?
If one. There he goes. Double slant.
And that went to number 81 for Centennial.
Yeah, it might be his first catch
That's
tonight.
Gabriel Moore. I don't feel like I've called his name tonight, so that's Gabriel Moore's first catch. At first, I thought I was calling the shot right there, and they were going to Caden Clark, but yeah. Moore slid in and gets the first down. Clock still running, 9:50 to go. Del Rio on an island by himself. There's Clark. Did he catch it?
No, it looks incomplete.
Incomplete.
He ran a pretty good route there. That was a nice comeback route to the sideline. He runs good routes.
He runs great routes. He goes just past where he needs to be and gets the first down. So they dink and dump, trying to get it to Clark, who hasn't had a brilliant first half with 8 catches for 122 yards, but Capital's adjustments have left him catchless, if maybe one catch in this half.
Oh, nice play by Jackson Reed.
Jackson Reed on a quick break this time. They tried to slip but somebody back past Del Rio, but Jackson Reed slides out to the flat and almost had a pick. And I tell you right now, if he would have got it, he could have walked his way into the end zone.
Yeah.
And it would have been a quick 42-7. But
finally, we got to back around the flats underneath that play.
well, I'll tell you, if Jackson Reed could catch the ball, he'd be a tight end. But now they put him in linebacker.
14, yep.
Yep, he broke free and gets brought down for a first down at Capital's 40-yard line. So that's number 14 for Centennial. That's Luke Shabbat.
Yeah, that's that dig route that he had just enough time to keep sliding past different levels of the secondary there, and Cook was able to get him the ball.
So Capital back against the wall here as Centennial tries to put a few more points on the board.
Yeah, we got just over 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Empty. Capital too high, probably just playing a soft cover 4 here. I don't see any pressure coming. And they run right up the middle.
Right up the middle for a gain of 7 yards, maybe 8.
Yep. They've done that a couple times. They spread us out, they go empty, and then you just want to run Cook.
Well, it was only 8 yards, but I'm going to go out on the limb and say that might have been the longest run for Centennial tonight. I can't think of one that went further. So Centennial trying to spread Capital out.
Now 2nd and 3.
I'm looking for Clark.
They're going empty here. See if they throw a bubble screen or something out to the right, up top, or if they run them again. Yep, they went up top.
Out to number 4.
Yeah, they could have called. They fumble. I saw the ref throw his bag.
That was Cooper Lowry. He may have got the first down, but from my angle, it looks like he's a little bit short.
Now, he might have fumbled that. I just kind of saw the ref come in there, the sideline judge throw his bag. I wonder if we got our hands on that.
And it was a good thing that Cook went to the opposite side, because if he would have come to the near side, Jackson Reed was going to prove me wrong. He had a great break on that.
Take care of the middle right here. I mean, they're empty again. Unless they motion for a fly sweep, they're probably just doing Cook right up the gut. He's got to get a yard. They pass it.
That's 2-down territory. Oh, a nice little lob over the top and a diving catch. And they're saying it's good.
Dang.
So for Centennial, Charlie Farimo has been the most prolific offensive player besides Cook and Clark tonight, mostly on special teams. He's actually the leading rusher for touchdowns for Centennial. He only has 41 yards, but he has 5 touchdowns.
You pointed out that stat. That's pretty incredible. They're running him when they need him down towards the goal line, it sounds like.
Those are Refrigerator Perry statistics right there, where there's not a lot of yards, but there's a lot of touchdowns there.
Oh my gosh, they got great pressure. They brought the house on that.
And Capital had 5 hats all through the line. Centennial's O-line certainly missed their call there. And Centennial takes the sack. So Centennial back on the 15-yard line, 2nd and 15.
Yeah, I mean, this is pride right here for Capital. Keep these guys out of the end zone. We got just under 7 minutes left in the game. We're 0 coverage, manned up. They throw back shoulder.
Oh,
looks like a touchdown.
It looks like a touchdown. Great catch to the back shoulder.
Number 4.
That was number 4. That's Cooper Lowry.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually that's tough to defend. You gotta, the corner's got to chest up to the guy, get his hands on his chest, and look back for the ball, and he just got his head around too late.
Yeah, Hayden Picard, he was the Capital Eagle in coverage there, but he didn't leave a lot of room there. It really was a nice ball, and it really was a nice catch.
That's that back shoulder throw where the receiver's getting his eyes back and the DB's not, and he just stops on a dime, and it's really hard to cover that. That was a great call down in that position.
Well, Picard shouldn't take it too hard on himself because he did have great coverage. It was a very nice ball. But Centennial showing a little bit of life in the fourth quarter, puts 7 on the board, which makes the score 35-14. So as soon as we say that the game has become a defensive battle, both teams have put TDs on the board.
2 quick scores.
So Capital looking to take some time off the clock. Coach Tinker talking to the kick return team, explaining what we need to do.
This might be this time.
Maybe a hands team out there? I see Blackham.
Yeah, they're definitely playing it safe here in case they do. They only got 1 guy deep. Yeah,
Yep.
That's a good call.
Capital rolls out with their hands team.
Good practice here in this situation. You know, get that team out there, get a rep.
You don't get a lot of practice for this scenario unless it's just practice.
It's a tight game, you know. It doesn't happen that often sometimes, and this is a good chance to practice it. We'll see if Centennial tries it or not.
Down 21 with 6:37 to go. Why not? Let's take a shot here, and it looks like they are. Oh, a little trickery. Little trickery. I thought it was coming at us, but it went back, and it was just a chip shot, and that was just an easy catch and down. And Capital will take over at midfield on their own 49, leading the Centennial Patriots 35-14. Is this a moment where maybe we should start to look for some different numbers, or Coach Simmons?
I was just about to say that. I saw some guys down on the sideline in front of the bench taking some snaps, like, you know, maybe that number 2 center's getting into the game now and wanted to make sure he's got a feel for it. It looks like Hibbs is still in the game. I see Sean Holstein, the running back.
Blackham's out here on the near side as well.
Yeah, I think maybe just a couple first downs, and you're going to see a lot of these guys start to get on the field, and rightfully so.
And it looks maybe a broken play there. Didn't quite.
He pulled it.
He did. He pulled it out.
I mean, hey, Hibbs, give the ball. We're up a little bit here. We don't need to get beat up. Sean's a tough kid. He's going to run downhill.
So Capital looking to the sideline, especially with a 21-point lead. It's all right for the quarterback to go ahead and hand the ball off a few times.
I'm sorry, that's just me.
Avoid a couple extra hits.
We got still a little bit of the season ahead of us, and Hibbs is playing really well right now.
So here we go in the shotgun. Hibbs looking at the back line judge to not get a delay of game.
Stay in bounds.
Fly sweep to number 16.
Nope.
He does not take your advice and stay in bounds, so Jackson Beer stops the clock.
Yeah.
Good for Centennial, bad for Capital. A gain of about 4 yards. Capital again looking to the sideline.
Balls on the Patriots, 47.
Yeah, they're taking their time.
Making a few adjustments, swapping in a few players here and there.
Bear. They got tight end. This is like a Trey look. Heavy set. Run the ball downhill. Nope. Oh! God, he threw a bullet there at the tight end. K-Sean, I believe is how you say his name.
And took a shot, and that was Centennial's number 7, Charlie Ferrermo.
Fourth and 6 here now.
Charlie Ferrermo, not only, we've called his name a few times on offense, but he is Centennial's leading tackler as well.
He is. I saw it right away in film. They start out in a too high look, and he's the guy coming downhill. He's the playmaker that they have. Boundary safety, boundary corner, those are your top dogs. Those are your best players. And, you know, they've freed him up to come downhill and make plays on the run game. Here he is creeping down again. And
doubling up on Blackham.
Yeah, he wants to give him a little press. No, he's bailing out now. Wow, we got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I think they just recognized the pooch punt there. And an amazing punt. We've seen him make some great punts.
And he grabbed it. I was watching. He was sitting there watching it. He did not call for the fair catch. He was watching it roll. Del Rio, I believe it was Del Rio or Blackham that was down there, watching it roll to the goal line, creeping to the goal line, but Palermo just grabs it, and he gives Centennial maybe another 6 yards of breathing room.
You know, some people might think that's dumb, that's crazy, but I mean that's a player that's got a pretty high IQ when it comes to the game, and he's trying to make things happen when you're down by 21.
With 5:28 left.
He's got a bright future.
Well, and a stud two-way athlete,
Yeah,
obviously, for Centennial.
Yeah.
Whoa, great. What a way to
Wow.
stay in the pocket. Cook took a shot through a rope. Guess who? Caden Clark with the reception. But Cook stayed in the pocket, and he paid for it. He does get the first down, but that one hurt. And he had a few words for Michael Quinney. Michael Quinney with the big hit there.
Oh boy.
Capital still bringing the pressure.
No call. Safety had a chance to really light him up, and he made the right decision there to just kind of not get the penalty. 19 Del Rio again was, God, he had a step on him. Clark ran a good route underneath him, but Del Rio was able to recover.
Intended for Luke Shabbat.
Oh, that was 14, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clock stopped. Centennial in motion. Cook rolling to the far side, under pressure.
Yeah, they motioned that guy down again to seal the edge so that the quarterback could roll out. Lou's contained by the defense, and we took care of the two deep threats there, so we had to check down to that guy in the flat.
And Jace French applying that pressure.
3rd down and 4.
5 minutes to go. Clock still stopped. 3rd down and 4. From Centennial's own 41-yard line. Cook making a play adjustment.
Bailing out. Okay.
And again, Damon Trafford intended for it, had the first down, knew he had the first down, but he forgot to take the ball with him. So unfortunately for Centennial, that makes it 4th down and 4. They really could have used that first down right there to try to some sort of desperation momentum. But they're going for it.
Yeah, 5 minutes left, 4th down and 4, big play to get off the field.
At midfield.
I see Banks there talking to the corner. Checking it down, make the play. Oh, darn it.
Well, when you need a first down for Centennial, it's a pretty safe bet. They're going to look for Clark, and it was Cook to Clark for a pickup of 11 and the first down.
And they were in trips. I know the corner was looking inside. He had the flat. He played it right. Just tough play. Got a one-on-one, and unfortunately, Clark got the first down.
Centennial, for a positive note, they've been pretty efficient on 3rd and 4th downs. A deep shot, and
Oh, they're going to give it to him.
they're going to give it to him. He was borderline being in, but it is the far side of the field. I assume the referee had a better view of it than we did. So a great ball by Cook to number 4, I'm guessing Cooper Lowry. He was on the far side in front of the Centennial bench, so there was a lot of numbers blending in over there when they helped pick him up. But I'm guessing Cooper Lowry with the catch. A Centennial first down on the Capital 34-yard line. 4 minutes and 33 seconds left to go in the game. Cook back out to the flats.
Fumble. Oh, they're going to call it incomplete, huh?
Incomplete.
Ooh, he took off running like he had the ball, but he never had it.
That has been a tendency of the Centennial receivers tonight.
Yep.
They've had 3 or 4 first downs, 3 or 4 big plays in hand, and then they just didn't take the ball with them. And again, that was Luke Shabbat.
2nd down and 10.
Wide receivers coach is going to have words with the receiving crew tomorrow at practice, or certainly in film.
Empty look again for Centennial. They've run it right up the middle, and they're going to throw the ball. Little check down. 7-yard gain, though.
7-yard gain. So it's 3rd and 3. The clock is running now. 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go. Centennial looking to the sideline for the play call. Burning clock. Capital bending on defense.
Yeah, bunch look, empty set. They've done a bubble, a quick throw. Maybe they're going to do a little pump fake and go. And they throw it out.
And I am surprised that ball got through. Jackson Reed had a beeline on Cook, and Cook threw the ball back that direction, which is a good read. But he had to sling it with a sidearm to get it and complete for a gain of about 3. So it's 4th down and 1.
4th and 1.
3:45 to go. Centennial threatening.
Like timeout. Timeout Centennial. They got to think this through.
We thought they might do this in the first half. Can't take the timeouts with you, Coach, so let's go ahead and burn this one.
Timeout called by Centennial.
Next week at Capitol High School is homecoming week. Stay tuned to KCHS. They'll be making sure all of the events, both soccer, volleyball, homecoming events, the Powder Puff football game is on Monday, so if you're in town, come and catch the Powder Puff football game. In the last 10 years in Powder Puff, the sophomores have won twice, the juniors have won 4 times, and the seniors have won 4 times. So it's been a hit and miss on who's going to bring it home. But under the lights on the baseball field, Powder Puff will be there as Monday night's first homecoming event. KCHS will be there. I'm not sure if they're broadcasting. But here we go, back to the 4th and 1 of this football game.
Empty set, 4th and 1.
Capital looks like they're going to bring the pressure, and Cook up the middle. Capital saw it, Capital read it, but Cook slices through for it looks like a first down.
Yeah, the defense is, I mean, we still got our starters out there, and we don't want to be giving up another touchdown here. These guys are fired up just as much to keep them out of the end zone right now.
Coach Moore on the box for the chain gang. He saw the first down. The white hat took his time signaling the first down.
We're in 0 right now. I bet you he throws at the 9.
He did. And Jackson Reed made him pay for it, but I think Cook will take it because that was, again, for the second time tonight, a Cook to Clark touchdown. And he just lofted that one over the top and let Clark go get it. You don't seem to like the coverage there.
I'm sorry. It was 1st and 10, and we're in 0. They went empty. And I'm telling you, Centennial's done a good job of moving Clark around, and it was a mismatch big time. He was the number 3, and I'm sorry if I'm wrong here. It might have been Jackson Reed. You got a linebacker against the best receiver.
Jackson Reed, he got a shot. He put a shot on
the quarterback.
On the quarterback.
Okay, so it was someone. It was another guy out there. Maybe it was number 9 then, Piva. I mean, I just saw the fact that it was a black hat. It was a linebacker playing one-on-one against the best receiver they got, and it was a big mismatch. They just ran right around him and threw the ball up in the air because there's nobody back there. Cover 0. Everybody's manned up, or you're bringing the house. I was just a little surprised that they do that right off the get-go there. Maybe the tendency was first down, and they're just going to bring the house. But when they go empty like that, I was a little nervous they might check out of it.
So Centennial puts another touchdown on the board. It's 21-35. Capital rolls out with the hands team again. No doubt in my mind that Centennial maybe too fancy with their onside kick the last time. Give it the old-fashioned soccer toe punch and see if we can bounce it off somebody.
So maybe it's a little slow roller. Nope.
It was the toe punch, and it's in the midfield.
Take a knee. Just go down.
Picked up at the 20-yard line and ran out of bounds by Jackson Beers.
Yeah, 3 minutes left in the game. Sure like to see us run the clock out here in this situation and get on the bus and go home and celebrate a victory.
Well, when Capital has went to the run game to run the clock out, it has been a steady feed of Holstein and Jones. So let's see if that's what Coach Semmis has in mind. He's got the whole offensive crew into a huddle. They break.
It looks like a couple number 2s coming out. See if we hand the ball off to Holstein here. Run downhill. Stoppage here. Missing. Looks like we're missing a player. That looks like a.
We're missing an O lineman.
Yeah, that's a captain right there.
Capital still gets the playoff. And those sorts of breakdowns happen sometimes late in the game when you have a lead and you're trying to get some kids some playing time. So it's not too unusual. It is unusual that it was Jake Varing that was having to run out onto the field for that. I assume that the conversation was that we were probably going to look to rotate some players in, but maybe just to run the clock out. Coach Simmons decided to stick with the starters, stick with the guys that got us here, run this clock out, and get out of here with a 2-touchdown lead.
Little fly sweep. He's losing yardage. Doesn't look like he gained anything out of it.
Number 2, Mike Hawley on the carry.
Got to stop. Looks like Centennial called a timeout. Is that they got one left, or we still have one left after that timeout? So, you know, they're not giving up here. If they get the ball back and make a quick score, you know, props to them. They don't think this game's over.
I don't want to say that it won't do them any good. With 2:29 to go, down only 2 scores. If Capital cannot get the first down here, they'll have the opportunity to get the ball back, maybe score, maybe get the onside kick, maybe create some sort of last minute heroics. So we'll see what Coach Simmons does with this timeout to, 1, get us a first down.
That's interesting. I mean, do you pass the ball right here? Do you pass the ball and you only run off 10 seconds of the clock and you're giving that much more time to Centennial because you're desperate for that first down? Or you just run the ball? Do you run the ball and force them to use maybe their last timeout? It's kind of an interesting decision. History of Simmons here, he's probably not afraid to throw the ball. Maybe roll out a little bit, give some time for Hibbs.
I'm going to guess that they're going to throw it. Get the first down, you get the win for the most part.
Yeah, they're coming.
They're definitely coming. It's a little flare out and it's an incomplete pass.
Yeah.
So Hibbs' pass intended for Jackson Beers. And it's 4th down.
That was interesting. I thought the punt team was about ready to run out there. Simmons stopped him. I know he's gonna kick the ball here. He better. So little pooch punt. I don't know who you're trying to trick. Maybe he just thinks that Hibbs is kicking the ball better, reduce the chance for a block punt.
Rugby style kick.
You want your best receivers out there making the play because O-lineman making these tackles never goes well.
And you don't want Fiermo with the ball scrambling around out there, and he broke a few tackles.
I was holding my breath on that one.
That one looked scary for a minute, but Capital's special teams come through, and with 2:11 to go, the game's not over. It's 35-21.
I think I had a reason of why they did that because Joey Q.
Yeah.
I think he's the long snapper, and we haven't seen him back in the game. I was wondering why they did that right there.
Oh, well, that would make sense. If our long snapper is not there, you don't want a long snap. That's Yogi Berra-esque comment, but Captain Obvious on this end. But Centennial looking to score quickly and to get out of bounds.
I'm surprised he didn't try to get out of bounds.
He didn't. He was trying to get the first down, which does stop the clock as well in high school football. But he did not get the first down, and he did not stop the clock. So with 1:50 to go, Centennial maybe
They did.
They burned their last time out.
That was just a poor decision, I think, by number 4. You catch the ball, you get your yards, you get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Cooper Lowry with the reception there.
Yeah, you know that's the conversation that's happening in the huddle right now on their sideline. They're like, hey, next time, get out of bounds. We only got so much time left on the clock.
And they could have used that last time out. It didn't take long for Centennial in that timeout. In fact, I don't know if they even used it besides to call the play over, maybe to remind everybody, get out of bounds if you get it. Coach Jarrell Root stalking the sidelines, demanding that the D-line puts a little pressure on the quarterback, Cook. This game could get interesting real quickly if Centennial can put another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, they're in empty again. I mean, they're forcing us to spread the defense out.
Well, priority number 1, find number 9.
Yeah, I mean, they've had him in the number 3 in trips, and they're letting him run free. He's going to probably try and get to the middle of the field, and they just got to worry about the clock if they make that completion. You know, they go right back. This time he does get out of bounds.
Yeah, so conversation had, message received. Lowry with the reception gets out of bounds. Centennial first down. That moves the ball into Capital territory at the 47. 1:55 to go. Trailing by 14. Cook in shotgun, drops back, looks, quick hit to the middle. It's to Clark, who scrambles, makes a few guys miss, and very smartly gets out of bounds. I was curious about the play call because that was dead center in the middle of the field, but Clark does a great job of fighting to the sideline to get out of bounds and another first down.
Now, Capital does not want to give up a score here. We got a bitter taste in our mouth, me included right now. And for them to score again, we don't want to go into next week with that feeling.
So here we go. Cook looking. Here comes the pressure. Cook hit. And this one sails out of bounds. So Capital's pressure, it gets to Cook this time, and he overthrows intended for, I'm guessing, number 14, Shabbat.
Shout out to Charlie again. Say his last name.
Oh, you got it. I've got Charlie Hastrider.
There you go. He was the one with the pressure there, and he landed on Cook.
And again, thanks to Coach Justin Stringer for giving us that name.
Well, he stepped up, you know. Oh, yes.
There we go. And this may do it. Cook drops back into the shotgun, tries to find his guy, and that is picked off.
Hey, Coach's Leafs kid, I love it. He's happy, all right.
So, Capital gets the pick. Coach Leafs kid, Tanner Leaf, with the interception. And Capital, for the most part, I won't say they've put a fork in Centennial, but the momentum that Centennial had might all be done. And as I look around, the Capital fans, they believe it's over. They're starting to head for the gates, comfortable with the victory in hand.
Yeah, I feel better now. I feel better now after the pick. That was nice. He finally spied that, and he came underneath the post. Finally. And on a high note there for the defense, at least.
And on top of that, I don't even have the Capital still looking to the sideline. I'm not sure what they're looking for. They just went into the victory formation.
They're just waiting to see how much time's left before they need to snap it again and not get a delay a game. And Centennial's out of timeouts, so this game is going to be wrapped up.
It looked like Coach Bobby Clark had some words there, or at least said something to maybe Blackham on the outside. The Capital stays in the victory formation, and as the clock ticks down, there's 50 seconds left. It looks like Centennial will be going to 2-5, and I don't recall who they play, but I think they have a tough schedule ahead for them. So that's not good news for the Centennial Patriots. On the other hand, with 30 seconds to go, it looks like Capital will be going to 5-2. Coach Leaf walking back behind me right now, big smile on his face.
Yeah, his boy made a nice pick right there. You know, he probably was a little frustrated at the end of the game, but he's happy now.
So the clock is winding down. Both teams are lining up to shake hands. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's your game, folks. Capital 35. Centennial 21. And that's a wrap. Congratulations to the Capital Eagles. good luck in watching the film. I'm sure Coach Simas will have some things to be said. I'm sure Coach Jacobson, as the DC, has some things to point out on what to do here and there. But for the moment, that's all going to have to wait till tomorrow, because the game is over. I'm Blas Telleria with my partner, Jason Gordon. We appreciate you tuning in to KCHS. Tune in next week for the homecoming game, which is on a Thursday, by the way. The game's on a Thursday against the Eagle Mustangs.
Big game, big game.
And a bit of rivalry, too.
Yeah.
That rivalry goes back. Basically, Centennial.
Eagle came in 97, 98. I think that was their first year as a team. And, they've had some success with Coach Paul Peterson. And, right now with the way things are going, Rocky on top, Eagle and Capital and Mountain View, we're all playing for that spot and getting the highest seed we can.
Well, from what I remember looking at the standings this morning, it is Rocky and Bora and Mountain View and...
Bora's done.
Bora...
They're out right now.
They're not out. I saw the standings this morning. But there are 5 teams, and it just so happens that it's Capital and Eagle that will go toe-to-toe next week. I love the lingering rivalry of the Bora Capital.
My hair stood up when you said Bora.
Still sticking with Coach Gordon.
All right.
Again, I'm Blas Telleria, and this is Jason Gordon. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week.